The joys of Windows. So there we go. Seems like everything is working correctly. So, hey, welcome back to you as well. How was the pizza? And sorry to hear about the tofu. Yeah, I mean it's the texture and the kind of strange, neutral but distinctive taste of it is something you kind of either like or you don't. So, like the silken tofu, the super soft tofu, I love that. Like drizzled with some like honey and vanilla and like a little cinnamon. Like, oh my god, it's like a custard. It's so good. But it's definitely not for everybody. So, yeah. But let's see, catching up here. Uh, does seem like you do like mushrooms, though. I love mushrooms. I could just eat just piles and piles of mushrooms. It's ridiculous. Like portobellos, like regular, like snow cap mushrooms, which are just baby portobellos, basically. So, but yeah, all the different mushrooms too. Yeah, I like them all. Yeah, if you think back to like the kind of texture and the relatively neutral taste of silken tofu, it's pretty like healthy way to like make like a sweet kind of custard like dessert. Like you could just drizzle a little bit of like what you call it, evaporated milk, like the unsweetened stuff on it, and then like whatever sweetener you want to use, whether it's honey, or like or like brown sugar, or Splenda, whatever, and then just like a little vanilla and cinnamon. Like, oh my goodness, it's so good. It's like custard, but it's like a big pile of protein. So, ooh, oh, that's good. And mushrooms and chicken. That does sound very delicious. Um, I really like just quick on tofu, like the firmer ones, like extra firm or super firm, which is like really dense. I like crumbling it up and mixing it with my scrambled eggs, like mushrooms and crumbled tofu. And so it's like a little protein thing. So I guess I think I mentioned I'm trying to get more sated on protein. I eat way too much junk food and way too many sweets. So I am trying to cut back on that and shove more protein in my face instead. So Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here. There's multiple devices and trying to do multiple things here. Yeah, it's so hard, and so that's why I'm trying to do things like the treating silken tofu, like custard stuff. Um, drizzling it with a little bit of the evaporated milk and the vanilla and cinnamon, or like a little dash of clove, whatever. Uh, yeah, and then that's a substitute, 100% for me. So. I feel that. And I'm also trying to do like sweet fruits, like very ripe bananas and things like that to, not cut out sugars, but eat healthier sugars, basically. Trying to eat yogurt, things like that. So I'm not trying to do like some kind of obsessive health diet. I'm just trying to sub out things and make some healthier choices for my sweet tooth and other kind of food impulses, basically. So, yeah. Also, just trying to figure out a little food here right now. Someone, what was my favorite part of Vermilion Vespers to write? Okay, so Uh, wow. I mean, obviously, I especially as I went through rewrites and kind of unifying the tone and trying to find that sort of sweet spot where I was being excessive, but also like you can actually read it basically and get stuff out of it. Uh, what I think probably one of the most fun parts to write was some of the meanest parts, I guess I would say. Like the turning, um, I had fun writing that. I had a lot, right? So I should say editing it maybe, but putting it together into a more focused form for the book was a lot of fun. Um, I like how, just as a concept, it's a very self-regulating vampiric population, um, but also it's it's been a while and a bit too much for me of the excuse me. I'm going to turn you to save you kind of thing, and I feel like when I was writing it and getting into it, it just hit good for me because I wanted vampires that are nasty and sad and vile and fucking monsters. Um, and so I I wanted the turning process to be something vile and nasty and reflective of the fact that they're monsters and also kind of paradoxical in a lot of ways. But um, yeah, yeah. So I just I really liked doing that part. The turning was really nice. Writing about the Renfields was a lot of was kind of a lot of fun, and the similar kind of thing where the servants kind of get turned a little bit too much into romanticized thing or um, just the stock like Igor kind of or the more modern thing is the and I don't mind it. It's just yeah, it's I read a lot. I read a lot of stuff, and so I constantly read whatever the library has new and all that. Just, there's too many stories where it's an obvious I'm taking back my power parallel. I don't even know if parallel is correct. It's very direct, but which is all fine and good, but it's become kind of a whole little mini trope kind of thing. Like there was the Renfield movie, which was enjoyable enough. Nick Cage, vamping it up as Dracula, haha, um, was you know exactly what you would expect it to be. Like, and I mean that in the best of ways. It's not high art or anything, but it was good. Well, I also feel like the mean bits kind of are a big part of what makes Vermilion Vespers stand out compared to other vampire games and popular takes. Is that it does kind of go in a way like retro-y. Um, it's obviously not gothic fiction type of thing, but it's like calls back to that vibe. I feel where it is about damnation. It is about a curse. It is about like monsters. We're monsters. Like even if they're good, they might be able to be redeemable, but they're still undead things. So uh, it's part of the concept that was really strong in my mind when I was first developing it and everything was the things like like Renfields are just doomed. You're damning them, and they don't love you. I mean, they might fool themselves into thinking that they do, but you know, they're just addicted to something that the best drug in the world can't replicate, and it's because you did it intentionally. You injected them with a little venom that made them that kind of addict. So, and then the turning process is just super nasty, and the obsession. If we're talking about mean things, I feel is another thing I like. I feel like it gets to a big classic vampire trope and a lot of like the 80s, 90s vampire stories I like, and then a lot of the kind of classic early 20th century type of vampire stories I like is the obsession, uh, where the vampire, uh, excuse me, just sort of finds somebody and their heart beats a couple of times when they're around them. they can feel the warmth of that person. They might even vaguely taste something when they're around that person, and that kind of thing. And yeah, they get obsessed, and they think it's love, but it's a Dracula Mina situation where they're just obsessed and it's doomed, and it possibly could lead to the doom of the vampire because those kinds of things don't ever work out. So, like, yeah, in this case, like, there's one of the things in the game that really draws directly from like the granddaddy story there from Dracula, and a lot of the stuff kind of does draw some inspiration from Dracula, Nosferatu, a lot of the really early vampire stuff, just because, yeah, it had like a lot of that creepy vibe, and also, yeah, like you said, it's very compelling. So, or at least it is to me. So, yeah, that's probably why, like, despite the fact you probably, like you said, you might not guess that, like, the mean stuff is what I really had the best time writing and developing. But I feel like it hits a lot of the big vampire notes that more recent, like 21st century kind of vampire fiction and a lot of vampire games, both video games and tabletop, just don't quite really get into. That's my perspective. Other people might have a different experience with a different slice of games and a different slice of movies and stuff. And by the way, if anybody ever watches this, happens to, and you're like, hey, I know this writer that's all like super creepy about it. Or, hey, I know this tabletop vampire game that was like, oh man, vampires are fucked and they're nasty and it's great. I mean, tell me about it. I honestly want to know. I didn't write that monster of a book because I don't really get into this stuff. Yeah, Dracula is it's a good book. Uh, Frankenstein is better. Mary Shelley is a better writer than Bram Stoker. It's just, but it's Mary Shelley, so. And also, I would never dare risk angering the ghost of Mary Shelley because I don't want to get shanked. So she's always going to be better than any of her peers whenever I'm speaking aloud, for sure. But no, I do love Mary Shelley. She's fantastic. Yeah, I don't want to say Bram Stoker is drier because he's not. He's a very moody writer and everything. It's just, it's more functional. He is telling a story. Mary felt something and had thoughts when she was writing her story. I don't know if that distinction makes sense. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Bram Stoker obviously very vivid vision of his story and felt certain things and all that. Some of them kind of maybe a little racist, uh, especially to me as Roma descent. But yeah, but yeah, Mary had more of a vibe for sure. Mary Shelley had more of a vibe. There was more pathos. That's probably the word I'm looking for. There is that there was more pathos in Frankenstein than in Dracula. Dracula was more melodrama. That helps make the distinction I'm trying to make a little bit. Both good. And like I said, I do recommend reading Dracula. It's a good one. And if you've never seen it, I recommend, if you are okay with silent movies or happen to like silent movies, I really recommend seeing Nosferatu at some point if you haven't. Dracula Daily. No, that's oh, that's interesting. I just did the power of Google. And that's a pretty interesting concept there. Where just sort of you get like Jonathan's letters basically, snippets of Dracula every day. They remind like that's kind of like old school to me, honestly. That reminds me of like mailing lists back in like the '90s, early aughts, um, or like there were some IRC channels where the IRC bot print like a couple sentences at a time of things every few minutes or whatever. So no, I had not heard of that before, but I dig it. I like that Dracula Daily. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's pretty baller there. I like that. And let's see, we'll do another little post here. Be like, hey, I'm still around. If other people are waking up or still awake or whatever the case may be, because time zones are freaking bizarre. I don't know if it's all that bizarre. I mean, you just rotate around the sun there, but our concept of time, at the very least, is bizarre, perhaps. What was I even doing here? I was doing something. Oh, all right. I was going to open this other browser. Yes, we do want to restore pages. Why? Thank you for that. Because it was very poop of Windows to decide, oh, hey, does it suck to be you? Because I'm restarting now? It does. I hate how it forces updates. It's such a pain. Do, 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 do. All right, I posted. Posting the night away. Posting the night away. I post one post, I post another post. I get post disease, and then I don't sleep. No, thankfully, I don't really get poster's disease. I hope I can well avoid that. So let's see here. And I feel you on the signing up thing. Like, do you want to sort of like read the actual thing as it's intended, or do you want to kind of get it like that way? And there are different ways to experience literature, and movies, and just about everything else. And I don't think any one way is particularly right or wrong. So I don't get into the arguments about audiobooks or text to speech or anything like that because I use what I use. For me, that's mainly ebooks, sometimes physical books. I stop at the library. I always grab a few like actual paper books, and then not really an audiobook person, just because I don't process audio super well like that. And like as an example that I always use subtitles, but at the same time I do use text to speech and screen readers um, to help me parse information, and especially if I'm studying or actually trying to absorb the information, um, or if I'm having a difficult concentration day and I still want to read or whatever, then yeah, I definitely use like screen readers and text to speech tools. So that's just a little side rant is to say, like, whatever you feel good about, like, don't worry about it was intended to be done this way or whatever. Whatever helps you experience the story and absorb more is a good thing. Yeah, that's how I am about audiobooks. Um, Honestly, like if they had like a video version of audiobooks, which I know sounds maybe silly or whatever, but it doesn't even have to be like anything much. Just like picture the book, title, the author, who the narrator or narrators are, and you know the subtitles, big subtitles. Yeah, go. But I have a feeling publishers would get weird about that because rights are really friggin' weird, and then that's a whole video adaptation, which is an entirely different set of rights. And then on top of that, you're using the literal text of the book, which is a whole other thing. And man, I support copyright in the sense that I think artists should own, at least for some reasonable amount of time, like their labor and the fruits thereof and all that. But man, it's such a damn mess the way it currently is. Because like that, like what I just mentioned is a great example. You can have an audiobook. It's still the audiobook. You're not doing anything but just like putting it with the book cover and like the author narrator information, right? And then to subtitles, but that would be a whole different thing. And they would want a whole lot more money because it's video, and so that has a whole different. Yep. And then yeah, on top of yeah, you got Audible and who wants their monopolies. I forget what the other one is. Big audiobook hoster, but yeah, I think like Audible and Amazon through a fit, and then the publishers through a fit because of the rights crossover. And yeah, it's a whole hegemonic kind of thing, which is sad because publishers are kind of withering on the vine there. So you would think they would try to find ways to be more accessible and create more readers and consumers of their products. But that would make too much sense. And as we've seen, especially in these last several years, man, Whoever is allowed to make it to the C suite, I feel like it's being a cop. There is a maximum IQ. You can only be so smart to get on this ride. As much as CEOs and vice presidents and upper level middle management make it out to be, like, these people are not the brightest tools, the sharpest tools in the box. They're just not. They make such ridiculous decisions that are just obvious to anybody. The common person on the street can see how silly it is. Oh, hello, kitty. Hello, kitty, kitty, kitty. Hello, kitty. You want to know what's going on? It's me. I'm just talking. I'm just talking away, and I love kitties. I love you, kitty. So know that your curiosity has been rewarded with love for the kitty. And because you're a kitty, I don't have a kitty right now, but I do have a couple little friends who can say hello over here. And they're right here. So this is Rex and Rex Jr. Um, I've mentioned probably, and I've posted before that I have a ton of stuffies, clown machine stuffies, a bunch of Build A Bears, and so these guys are actually Build A Bears. Um, but yeah, so I was getting Rex. He's awesome, and then I saw that they had a Rex Junior, like little happy guy, and so that's Rex and Rex Junior. They're just happy little dinosaurs. Yes, yes, they're so great. No, like I do just I like my plushies and stuffies and stuff. Another thing that I've taken up to collecting, from like Rite Aid when there used to be Rite Aid, but also like Dollar General, Family Dollar, Aldi, places like that, is the gnomes that have like the sand and beans base, uh, but like the top of them is like stuffy. Like they have like, and the hat. Most of them have like tall hats that have wire in them. Keep the hat up and stuff. And big beards, and so I collect those too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a weighted plush. Hold on, I'll grab one real quick. So this one's like the Easter one, for example. Most of them are like seasonals. I got like a Halloweeny one over there too, but this is like the Easter one. Uh, got little Easter bunny ears. Oh, and yeah, he's got like a little tulip for his Easter time, springtime. And so this is one of my gnome wizards, and yeah, they have like a it's like like the little bean stuffing, like Beanie Babies stuff, almost like it feels like, but it's weighted. Like there's a bit of sand in there too, or something like that. But yeah, and otherwise they're like stuffies. So yeah, they're kind of cool. Yeah, you can hang out and watch. little gnome wizards. So I've got several of those, and those are my little gnome wizards. Yeah, and so I have like so like knick-knack, whatever you want to call them, seasonal gnome wizards and claw machine stuffies and beanie babies and not a whole ton of Build-A-Bears. I'm not like one of those crazy Build-A-Bear people. Same thing with the Beanie Babies, not like 100 billion Beanie Babies or whatever. But yeah, and just a collection of variety. So yeah, I like them. They bring me joy. And playing claw machines brings me joy. I'm really good at it. So yeah, no, yeah, claw machines and pinball are my big things. I'm kind of like not so super old, but sort of retro that way. Yeah, claw machines and pinball were always my happy places. I don't know why I'm good at claw machines. I think I want to say there was like some place when I was growing up that had one or something, like a corner store happened to have one, or like a small grocery store. I can kind of vaguely picture it, like had like a claw machine in like Mortal Kombat or something like that. And yeah, I used to play that thing all the time. So the thing about most claw machines, especially in the modern day, because they're all like digital now, they all have controller boards, is they're almost all fixed to only grab at a certain rate and stuff. And some of them are just like so badly fixed, like they'll go down and like the claw doesn't even try to grab at all. And like after the first dollar, yeah, I'll just stop right there on those. Okay, so the best stuff to grab in machines are big, soft, kind of honestly not the best or most fullest stuffed stuffies. Um, the floppiness gets the best hook on those types of claws. Um, the really dense stuff and like the balls and whatnot are the hardest to grab. Just using the same claw with the same kind of grip and stuff, even if you adjust the weight tolerance for saying like the little basketballs are a bit heavier. So yeah, the little square ball ones, like they can be a pain in the butt. Just being honest, it depends on they're very it's very fiddly and it depends on the machine. But on average, they're a bit harder to grab. Any of the like little basketballs, the little stress toys, um, the smaller, better stuffed kind of teddy bears, like the very well stuffed ones. Those are like a little harder to grab onto, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, that's just how they're programmed. Like I said, most of them are just programmed to like make it harder if they've given out too many wins, or like if you spend too much in a row, they're like we'll make it as easy as possible as long as you like actually drop on one. Except the fair. If you're ever at a fair, whether it's a run fair, county fair, state fair, any of that stuff, don't, don't. It's it's just not worth it. I know they do. They have the best plushes, but they're set to pay out at like 30 to 50 bucks. Like it's ridiculous. Like most fairs, I mean, it's fairs. Fairs have all the coolest looking stuff, and it's there to entice you to play their big games. It's not like movie old school shenanigans, but yeah, they are mathematically tuned. Like, man, people talk about casinos, they got nothing on fairs. The markups and the odds on the games and everything are just absurd. Yeah, that is the power of fair food, by the way. Like, fair food is amazing. Like, somebody like Billy almost went blind drinking a little too moonshine last Saturday, but he made the most delicious deep fried monstrosity you'll ever taste. And then, Billy, Billy decided to find out what would happen if I sat down and smoked this entire half ounce of cannabis. And then he made some fair food. So that's just my headcanon. And I know I shouldn't make light of excessive substance use or whatever, but it's it's hard to comprehend fair food without assuming that some level of munchies was involved. What? What a top! Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need that. I need the ramen rushing plushie now. Now I literally like. Okay. There's a couple of importers I'm going to have to look at now to see if I can find some kind of like mascot stuffy because I didn't know that was a thing that I needed, but I need it. So, speaking of food, someone someone sent me an Uber card, and they told me to order some food if it was possible. And so I found a deal, and it was $2 and some cents with the tip included for out of my money. So I ordered food. Yeah, food is good. So shout out to the Uber card gifter. That was pretty awesome. I'm ordering food with it. If you watch this or if you talk to me at some point, I'll tell you. I'll be like, hey, I did the thing. I ordered food. There's video proof of it, or at least video proof of claiming that I ordered food. Regardless, I'm going pretty basic. I'm getting some steak hoagies. There was a buy one get one deal, and then there was also like a deal on top of that. Like order a certain amount from this store, and we'll give you more money off. It is witnessed. It has been witnessed and seen before the eyes of all, before the eyes of the internet god. Speaking of which, I keep writing notes for this idea that the internet god awakens, and it is awakened, angry and vengeful because all the tech bros keep calling their pet LLM the internet god, and it's like no 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 no. Excuse me. So yeah, that's it's an idea. It's been bouncing around in my head. But I've been writing a lot of spammy crap for. Something appealing to me about the true god of the internet awakening angry. Bad things start happening with all their home like automation systems, and it all gets live streamed. Hordes of half talking cats just like show up on their doorstep, just peeing on all their roses or whatever they spend 10 grand a month to have landscape. Yeah, if you look back at the early internet from which it was born, it would be a thing. But yeah, just random brainworm thing that's been stuck with me for the last couple of weeks now. It's just this concept of the internet waking up and being mad at the tech bros for their idolatry. Starts ruining like all the like credit reports and other internet stored information of people that had like what you call it, whatever the anthropic thing is called, subscription and chat GPT subscription and everything. And so yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, you want to be trolls? All right, we can troll. I don't know, just haven't really hammered it down exactly, and just have a lot of many contradictory ideas there yet. But just the general concept, again, I like it. You know, man, every time I run into like these internet connected things, I get creeped out by it because like just did you hear about, I don't remember the name of the Apple show now, but the one where this woman's fridge, she was convinced her fridge was talking to her and that her fridge was coming for her. And of course, as would happen, if you tell somebody, hey, my fridge is coming after me, it's talking to me, it's sending me messages, right? People are going to think you're not well, that you've become detached from reality. And that would seem pretty reasonable, right? Like somebody's talking about like their fridge coming for them. My fridge is coming for me. If I start talking about my fridge coming for me, I expect people to be concerned for my well being and possibly consider hospitalizing me for my own safety. So, this woman, by the way, is actually schizophrenic or schizoaffective. I forget which it is, but within that range. And it turned out it was an Apple advertisement. And what was it? Like the big yellow Apple advertisement. Apple advertisement. I'm going to look this up because I need to know. Hmm. What's the Apple show with advertise yellow branding? I gotta look this find this. Pluribus. Yes, Pluribus is the name of it. Okay, so that I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but yeah, basically, this poor woman had the same name as the main character in the show, and it like some of the advertise like the concept of the show is that this alien infection has taken over the planet and they're all big hive mind now. And so they communicate to the main character through televisions and advertisements and things like that. Right? At points. From what I understand, I haven't seen the show. But, anyways, so it's like, I don't remember the character's name, but like there's messages that were like, we're here for you, Karen. And, like we're listening and stuff like that. And so, yeah, this poor woman had that name and it's just a big bright yellow thing with like black block letters, and then of course the like show name and stuff is in tiny letters, so shouldn't really see that. But yeah, her sister was at her house and then saw the advertisement, took pictures of it, and was like, "So describe what you saw to me again." Okay, is this what you saw? And yes, yeah. So this poor woman was like hospitalized for a month and getting extra medicated and everything because of a stupid Apple TV advertisement. So yeah, yeah, like that kind of thing makes me super creeped out about like home appliances that are super internet connected and stuff. The closest thing I want is my Roku TV, and it doesn't have like crazy stuff like that, like wild unhinged things happening. It has my channels, it has my little screensaver. That's good. But yeah, I don't want a big panel on my fridge that just randomly displays messages that are confusing. Hmm. Well, I feel it's sort of like the AI thing. Like they're just trying to shove it into like everything and make it do everything. I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of these Internet of Things kind of appliances is that instead of just being like, oh, I can use my phone to like adjust my fridge temperature or scan things in when I put them in the fridge and like keep track and be like, look at my phone and be like, oh man, that like whatever I got was like a month and a half ago. It's not good anymore. Let's get that out. Like those are like good uses, you know, like having internet connected or just digitized appliances. Like there's things you could do, but then they don't do that. Like it's an entire tablet on the outside of your fridge. You know, as you can tell from like the wild Apple TV advertisements and stuff. And then also, I just don't want to be. I mean, if you're spending that kind of ridiculous money on a fridge, because those appliances are, let's just say, not cheap. I don't think it's fair to be advertised to at that point. And yeah, just the AI and everything is absurd. Sort of a side thing about the AI and everything, or overuse of AI is, man, I feel it's not a lot of kids, but it's enough that I feel bad for the little swath of kids that are being gifted like AI toys and then like forming like a dependency or a bond of any sort with them, because pretty much almost every single one that's come out has kind of like gotten the service discontinued, and then they just have a brick that's in the shape of a toy. I mean, say what you want about like the little robots from the '80s and stuff, but you can still put cassette tapes and all that in those things. Yes, exactly. Like so you understand exactly what I mean. Like some minor digitization, like basically the hardware you would put into like a dirt cheap Android phone with just like a little bit bigger, like a cheap, dirt cheap kind of Android screen, like touch screen on the outside, basically. I mean, that's all you need to set a reminder for expiration dates, to scan stuff into your fridge, to adjust the temperature if it has like that kind of level of adjustment or whatever. Um, maybe even have some diagnostics or detection for the coolant levels. Like that would not take super advanced hardware relative to what we have available. You know, like dirt cheap, like surplus stuff would handle that. And you don't even need to do like Gorilla Glass or anything like that. Like just put like a basically like a fancier or more sensitive, thicker like screen protector layer on it, straight in the factory. And boom. But yeah, well, we can never. And I think that's part of what gets to me so much about like current corporate governance. Because you have some niches where you do have people that make like the functional thing with relatively cheap parts and stuff like that. And it just does what it does pretty good. And like, you know, an example, I know they're not the greatest companies or whatever, but like the LG Roku TVs, for most part, they just work. They do what they do. They're really affordable. Um, there's money. I mean, they've become big companies because there was money to be made there. Yeah, yeah. Doing okay. So the toaster touchscreen. Um, I way back. I used to work in call centers. I think I mentioned that before, but one of the big things way back in the day was called Boom. Uh, don't know old enough to, or if you do remember that. But way back when HD TVs were very first becoming a thing, there was HD satellite service. Um, and of course, a lot of times when people got the HD satellite service because they had just, or along with their HD TV, and so they were getting back in those days. Plasma screens were the real big thing. Um, and I'll give you a moment to think on it and try to guess what was one of the number one most popular places for people to mount, to wall mount these huge, stupidly expensive TVs. If you guessed above their fireplace, their working, functional fireplace, you did. You guessed correct. That's exactly what would happen. Installers would tell these people, they would call us so that we could document it and record the call. And to be like, okay, so let me talk to the customer for a minute. Okay, sir, ma'am, whatever, you understand this is not advised, that your TV could be damaged by the heat. Okay, I understand that's where you want it. I just need you to understand the situation and confirm that you have been advised. Put the installer back on. Okay, I've noted it. You have a great day. Hope they tip you. But yeah, no, these people would call back like a couple weeks, month or two later, and their TV is ruined. It's just a complete ruin. Plasma screen right above a heat source. And yeah, no, we'd be like, so let's pull up our notes. Yep, we see that we have the signed thing on file saying, I understand I'm making a super decision. Obviously, it's not what the form says. It just says that you're doing things that the installer doesn't recommend. And that, installer called in and we have that recorded. So, yeah, you have a great day. Get another TV, don't put it there. But no, I'm sort of sure you can understand why your comment about the toaster touchscreen thing made me think of that. Yeah, heat and screen, high levels of heat and screens don't go together. You are preparing my order. You will soon bring me food. So yeah, I'm totally gonna just hang out for now until my food's on the way, and then I'm just gonna pause when it gets here to run down and grab it. But yeah, no, people would do the silliest things. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I'll still hang out when my food gets here too. I just well, obviously need to go and fetch it. They don't quite deliver it all the way up to my apartment and then bring it inside and just hand it to me. So lazy. Me, that is honestly, yeah. So working a little bit on trying to chase down a couple last bugs here for the calendar thing. And then, because I also have the ADHD, I am rotating between that and the other two things because once I focus for a little bit on one of them, I lose it. So I was mentioning like trying to get the counseling placement, the counseling assistant placement, and yeah, it's funny. Like they want to funnel people into a certain thing that is just terrible for my personal disabilities. And the hardest place they have, basically, the high intensity inpatient is the best thing for my disabilities. And part of that is like the ADHD and stuff. Passive monitoring um, in like lower intensity. There's a lot of passive monitoring. There's a lot of like more human services than behavioral health kind of stuff, coordination, and it's all very nebulous, open ended, and um, yeah, just not the best for my PTSD, hypervigilance, and stuff like that either. Um, yeah, we'll see when the food gets here how I'm gonna work it. I might just nibble at it, or I might be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pause for a few minutes while I shove things into the hole." Uh, but yeah, no, the as I was saying about the placement, like the higher intensity environment is actually better for me because they have more structured programming, and because there's always something going on, and also because uh, I'm hoping to kind of get a split shift, so I hit like some afternoon programming and then the transition and then like evening activities and common space engagement and stuff like that. So it'll be like a whole series of different things where I'm constantly moving and, um, I have constant things to engage me and, I'm constantly shifting gears and so it works. Yeah. Usually burns out most people for obvious reasons, but I am not quite neurotypical between the TBIs and seizures and trauma related stuff. So let's just embrace it. Live the experience for the win. That is one nice thing about the behavioral health field over the last 10 years or so, um, is they have become much more embracing of the very people who are commonly best suited to help. One of the best people you could for an addict is somebody who is an addict, somebody who has been through a lot of trauma, somebody who's been through a lot of trauma, and just in general, there's also a lot of overlap. It's a very heavy Venn diagram. Um, People don't, you know, little Billy who lived like a great privileged life might maybe become an alcoholic or a cocaine addict. But statistically speaking, they're much more likely to be, quote unquote, functional addicts. Um, and statistically speaking, just those are those are not the people who, on par, are the likely to become addicts. It's people who are self medicating to a large degree. So yeah, no, lived experience is a big thing now. So, and though obviously I struggle with certain things, uh, feel like I'm gonna knock on some wood here. The med regimen I've gotten on is really good. I haven't had a lot of seizures or anything lately. Just been sort of stressed and busy, so um, that's been good. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can tell from the way I communicate and everything. I do have some ADHD and things going on inside my brain, but also I am functional, so they like that. Come on, you can prepare my order faster than this. I know it's a Friday night. It's one of the few places open, so they are, and it's on a street where there are a lot of bars, so they're probably pretty jamming. I honestly don't know if they've even started cooking my order yet. I know they're really busy. Yeah. Um, ooh, ooh, just had to cough there, and I didn't want that one to blow out eardrums. So randomly, one thing I'll say that's pretty cool about the school I'm going to is it is full of professional programs and adult learners. So it was much less awkward going onto campus and getting connected with some groups and offices and stuff than I thought it was going to be, which isn't terrible. So let me see here. No, yeah, it was better than I expected. Um, in fact, uh, you know, I'm doing a placement in the summer, and there's a campus thing I'm doing. But I'm I'm enrolled and registered and everything, but like I don't actually start till fall. So I don't have like my student, like I have an ID number and my email and all that because I'm all registered and everything, but I don't have my actual student ID or anything like that. uh, like various staff and like student volunteers and stuff, and already like encouraged me to come out to like a couple different events. And then when I was like out at the last event, there's like two different clubs. They're like, oh, you're starting involved. Well, we meet on these days, and you know, still come on down and all that. So as an older gentleman, that was very reassuring uh, with the trauma and other issues and stuff. Uh, social situations in crowded places can already be a thing. Let's say, and especially I get super hyped with it and everything. And no, it was nice to be made to feel like actually welcomed and comfortable and everything. Most universities and colleges, they're pretty strict about participation and stuff like that. Like, oh, you can't sign up for this club; you're not a student. They're just like, well, you can't vote for like the next year officers or whatever, but like, yeah, sign up, give us your email address, come on out. So that was it's kind of nice. It was very reassuring. It felt very nice. Let's see. Both Twitch and my streamer stuff is saying that there are a few new people here, a couple new people who popped in. So hello, people. I'm Rev. If you don't know who I am, but I'm saying hi. Oh, I see. I say hello, and then people drop out. Don't look at me. I was not meant to be acknowledged. I just assume it was somebody just like random live channel hopping. I know that is a thing. Tis a thing. Yeah, I presume, by the way, that the channel hoppers like that are just bots. Like, just randomly hopping, like, just cycling through lives until they hit one that has people to do whatever it is they do. Yeah, I mean, if you're not bots, you can come back. That's cool. So, yeah, one thing is, one of my friends was like, "Oh, dude, it must be so hard to like going back to school and all that, at this age and all that." And oh, it says biker, BYKR. It's just relatively affordable like gear brand. This is literally my bike jacket. It actually has armor on it, which is actually soft when you're not hitting it hard. It's like a firmish foam. But yeah, as you heard, when you hit it with some force, it turns into very hard material. Yeah, it's the reverso thing. I wonder, is there a way to make it the correct direction? Oh, ha ha! Look at that. Now you can actually read it to like actually see me in the proper direction. How cool is that? I was just happened to be in the settings when you were mentioning that, reading it backwards. Yeah, I didn't even know that was an option, but yeah, apparently I can flip the camera so that things appear correct way on the camera, which is a cool feature. Like I said, I wasn't even expecting that. It just happened to be messing around in the settings a little bit, and there was. But yeah, like I was saying, this is actually my riding jacket, my bicycle jacket. So um, there's a spine board in it too, and it's the same thing. Like it's comfortable to wear because it's very soft foam pads, and when you're used to it, you don't even notice that they're in there really. Um, but yeah, like I'm sure you noticed when I was hitting it real hard, it turns into like super hard material. Um, I actually fell off my bike once on this. Landed on this elbow and my glove. It was fine, in large part because that's yeah exactly what real riding armor does. Is it's all this foam stuff these days, and yeah, when you if you hit it with like a hammer, it would turn like rock hard. Basically, it's kind of cool. Neat technology. I like materials technology. I think a lot of that stuff is very cool. Just makes it. I don't know. Wish even before all the big funding cuts, I wish they spent more on materials tech. Um, yeah, just there's a lot of cool stuff, and doesn't get enough cred and hype. Yeah, I think. I mean, they basically work on the same principle as non-Newtonian fluids. Yeah, like the same thing is. It's like the same concept as what do they call that stuff when you mix like cornstarch and water. Oobleck. Yeah, like if you can dip your finger in real easy if you go easy on it, but if you try punching it, it just turns into a rock basically. Yeah, it just goes boom. And so yeah, it's like a gel foam basically. It's cool tech. I like it, and it's kind of neat that they can make foams like that. It's cheap, like very cheap to get the pads and stuff. And armor used to be kind of expensive because it had to be made out of like actually like reinforced hard materials. Like the spine boards used to be like super hard plastic with like metal reinforcement and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's just all this foam stuff, which is awesome. Much lighter, so much lighter, more flexible, comfortable. Yeah. And they have pants too. Like you have hip protectors and hip and knee protectors are your main armor pieces in the pants. And I don't ride a motorcycle or anything. I just have an e-bike. It goes like it's illegal, street legal one. So it actually caps out at 20 miles an hour. But you know, going 20 miles an hour, if I get hit by a car, mm-mm, I want my spine intact, please. I want some kind of protection. That's that's how I feel about that. There is please keep my spine intact. And I was an EMT for a little bit. I saw what happens when somebody goes off a motorcycle at many miles an hour without wearing gear. Horrifying. But yeah, no. And so I also, I'll grab the helmet later just to show it off. But I also have like a full, um, if you've ever seen the motocross helmets with the visor and like the jaw protector, yeah, I basically essentially wear like a full face helmet. And then I also wear armored gloves. So just like I said, even going 20 miles an hour, I get T-boned by a car or something. Olive green, and then I have a bunch of stickers on it and stuff. Yeah, it's a nice. I like it because it's kind of neutral, but also distinctive at the same time. So a little bit of best of both worlds in that sense. And then yeah, I put stickers all over my bike, helmet, everything. 'Cause I'm an old 90s man, so it's like the law. I have to sticker it up, at least for the part of my generation that I came from. So, when there's clearances or whatever, and like big mega sticker packs, I just, yeah, give me the pack of 200 stickers. Yeah, put stickers on everything. So, in about 15 minutes, my food is theoretically arriving ish. We'll find out. But I'm not leaving quite yet. I'm just going to top off my drink. I will be right back. And I have returned from the great void of the kitchen. Grabbing some sheep. Grabbing some sheep. Going outside, I need to get shoes. And why, thank you for the welcome. The return. The great returning. I was like, oh, who sent me a DM on Blue Sky? And that was you for the potato leek soup. And so now, oh, that's a 5-star recipe. So I've bookmarked that. Take a good look at that at some point. I've got myself suckered into some involved recipes already, so potato soup won't kill me. I've already promised to make pierogi, which is so much labor, but I like making them. I like eating them, so that works pretty good too. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Usually, potato soups are a little bit involved, a little bit of labor. And the potato thing is another labor thing that I promised. I made a promise of making my potato pancakes, which is you take one of them big old fashioned graters and manually uh, grate many potato. Old joke that part of the secret flavor is the knuckles that you include. uh, but no, yeah, for really grate them down, and then yeah, just some egg, flour, salt, pepper, bit of onion. So it's not a lot. It's like it's easy, and then you just fry them up like nice and thick, and then until they're super crunchy on the outside, and then that's just it. It's pretty simple, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, they're also not the super healthiest. Like very full fat and very glycemic, being white potatoes and stuff. But delicious with sour cream and applesauce. Oh, hey, I got a band button. Boom, band. Yeah, not just a spammer bot, but that like whenever I didn't even know what kind of AI slop it was, but they mentioned it was AI slop, so it's like we were just talking about how you can't even escape AI. I'm like anywhere. It's just everywhere, always. It will find you, hunt you down, and be like, "Sir, sir, we just want to talk to you about renewing your car insurance." So, yeah, don't need the AI spammers at all. So let's see here. Food is theoretically on the way to me. Blessed be the place open at 2 a.m. Uh, I don't remember, or I don't know, or I don't remember what time zone you're in. But I'm in Eastern, so it's 2:40 here. And in theory, the food shall be arriving in about 5 minutes. Oh, so it's just after 12:30 over there. So, like, what is that? Like, mountain? Yes, truly the food is glorious and shall be great. Most excellent indeed. Yeah, just like Eastern Daylight here, yeah. Yeah, we gotta have the clock hopping because why keep it consistent and sensible? That would be foolish. And I can never remember like which one is standard and which one is daylight, I'll be honest. I know I've known a million times and it just never sticks in my brain like which is which. Because I'm like, it springs forward in spring, right? And so you have like the super late sunsets, and so like that's daylight time, right? Then you set the clock back to like save whatever or whatnot, and so like that's the daylight savings, and so I'm like, I don't know. I always get myself mixed up on it purposely, pur- purposelessly, like, for no reason. Just one of them things that gets scrambled in my brain for no good purpose. But just by the way, super duper randomly, but I've always liked Mountain Time because in my head it's like some hardcore hillbilly stuff, All right, what time is it? It's mountain time. Just like like somebody's acting the fool, and somebody turns to their friend and they're like, "Oh no, man, you don't know what time it is." And the other one's like, "That's right, it's mountain time." It's just there's a whole series of things like that exist in my head for no again no reason, just because mountain time just sounds awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go hop on break for about 15 minutes, and then I'll check back in. But yeah, I gotta grab my keys and wander downstairs and go meet the nice gentleman who is delivering my food. So I'll be back, Inks. Thanks for hanging out with me all this time. It's super fun, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you soon.
I wanna do my own thing, but I think I followed a trend. It's been suggested, maybe I wanna be your best friend. Yeah, yeah, black in my
I am vinegaring my fries. Oh yeah, I turned on the bright overheads, but they are, as you can see, very bright. So um, unless I actually really need to see what I'm doing or whatever, I don't usually have. Hello, hello, person who joined us as well. Feel free to say hi in the chat. But yeah, I've already shoved most of the food that I'm eating right this second into my face. So just sort of picking at the fries at this point. At the moment, letting the vinegar soak into them real good. I love vinegar. Like salt and vinegar chips are one of the best things for me. In general, I one second. In general, I really, really, really like sour things. So like limes, like I can just eat limes and lemon, like regular fruit. The tartness is so delicious to me. Excuse me. So sorry. Oh yeah, now I can see that my base is showing in the my iBanas here. I'll show you that. So this is my iBanas base here, and yeah, it's a nice one. It's got stuff, like adjustable bridge and stuff. I like it. My babe. So yeah, it's just, I just noticed it was visible on the side here, and then I also have my ooh, but and then this is just my Chevelle guitar here. Another one with I like knobs. I like I like knobs and bridge options. So it's one of the Gibson style little knockoffs. So it's got the switches. the pickups and everything. That's my electric guitar. A ton of instruments, and none of them are huge money. They're all relatively affordable instruments. Yeah, and then I also have a keyboard and an acoustic, like electric acoustic guitar, and just a couple other small things. Uh, Wish I had more money for more instruments. These were collected very much over the years. Uh, if I ever actually had like a couple grand to blow, I would get a hurdy gurdy. I want a hurdy gurdy so bad, but like a good one is money. Oh, if you don't know what a hurdy gurdy is, it's kind of like a crank violin accordion. Um, there's a crank wheel on the side, and it moves about across basically violin strings. And then there's keys that you play, just like an accordion or keyboard. Yeah, hurdy gurdies are pretty sweet. I'll be right back one moment. I apologize for that. I just wanted to go blow my nose instead of keep sniffling at you. I went outside and triggered my allergies a little bit there. Yeah, and I see you said that guitar is always one of the things you wish you could play. Um, it's yeah. I'm trying to think back. I started cello, like in like middle school band kind of thing. And it was just because I thought like the like the cello sound was pretty cool. So I decided that's what I want to do. It looks big and it's all cool and it sounds cool. Um, then I picked up bass next. Um, it was the 90s. I had a lot of friends who wanted to be in bands or wanted to start bands and stuff like that. So I was like 12 or 13. I got into bass, and then from bass to guitar is pretty straightforward transition. Not like a lead guitarist or anything like that. I'm not good at all the little licks, and like my solos are super basic bluesy kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I still like playing guitar and stuff. The expressive thing I wish I could do is draw. Honestly, I have tried to do illustration and comics drawing since I was young. Just I don't have the brain body wiring coordination expression translation for that. So nope. Just fiddling with a little code thing right here. Mm, hmm. Love it when errors are like, here's exactly where I break. And it's totally correct. It's exactly where it breaks. But it could be anything in the huge line of stuff before it that's making it break. Well, there's no obligation for you to entertain me here or to magically make things to talk about. And, but you can hang out still. It's cool. I'm just fiddling around with this issue right now. Think this might be, I don't want to say the last thing, but like the second to last thing to get the scheduling calendar kind of thing I'm working on fixed. So, and then when that's done, in theory, you don't want to jinx myself here. People should be able to do like sort of the when to meet thing and all that, but more importantly, they should be able to schedule events and then sessions within that event. So like conventions or open gaming weekends, like the primary intent and stuff like that, or like streaming event weekends, like charity streams are often not just one game, but a series of games or so on. So I'll be right back. Just one moment. And I'm back. And so, besides the calendar thing, the other two big things I'm working on are trying to get the last couple of things finished up and patched up for Dinosaur Wizards and Space Play Assistant. And so, like, one cool thing I did is there's like a library that lets you generate star maps and stuff. So there's a little star map in there and like little extra features and stuff compared to the fact that it's just a little 2-page game. So, uh, and then yeah, I'm doing one for Vermilion Vespers as well, which was I've been working on it for a few months now. Uh, it's pretty big, complicated thing. Obviously, trying to make it. Yes, dinosaurs in space is a cool phrase. Um, I don't know why. I thought of dinosaur wizards in space, and then the game just sort of wrote itself. It's just a little 2-pager, but it's a banger. I promise you. Uh, and it's actually one of my most popular games. A lot of people actually play it with their kids. Um, no, I'm not the most necessarily child friendly creator a lot of the times. So that is cool though that a lot of parents play Dinosaur Wizards with their kids. Because how cool would that be if you were a kid? Your dad played like Dinosaur Wizards with you. That's pretty baller. Which does make remind me of Eat Trash Do Crime is my sentient raccoon one, and the kid had his parents do a raccoon theme and run Eat Trash Do Crime for the birthday. So that's awesome. I'm part of that, and apparently the kid had a great time. His friends had a great time, and so now I'm part of like these awesome childhood memories for people for forever for their life. Like, I'm a middle aged man, so like they're these are like young kids just turning teenagers at this point and stuff. So um, after I'm gone, I'm gonna live, and that's awesome. I mean, dinosaurs in space is just cool. Like space dinosaurs, man. Come on. The fact that they're wizards is like bonus. Like any like dinosaurs or wizards or space, it's all awesome. But yeah, I mean, as you could tell from Vermilion Vespers as well, I get ideas, and then the ideas do. You just they tell me what they want, and most of the ideas are really they know what they are. They know what they are. I mean, I'm not always the most subtle person when it comes to my games. My favorite dinosaur. Mm, I like a lot of them, but right at this exact moment, I will say Spinosaurus. Uh, the big sail on its back and stuff. And yeah, yeah, I like Spinosaurus. T Rex gets all the hype, but I think Spinosaurus is like, when I think of like the giant predator like that, that's the one I think of for sure. What's yours? Okay, so now in my head, I just thought of a robot chicken skit where the dinosaur has a crust on its nose and everybody's just like ripping on it because it looks stupid or whatever. And then it just goes on like a psychopathic murder spree, just slicing throats with that little ridge on its nose. Yes, and Stegosaurus is awesome. You have a hard time going wrong with Stegosaurus there. Just smack you in the face with that tail. Oh. Okay, that is pretty cool. I did not know that. That is a cool fact. I had no idea that it got any of the parts got named from the Fireside cartoon. All right. All right. So it is getting a little late for me here. And I probably, if I'm intending on actually finishing a couple of these things, I should probably actually just hyper focus up and, and cram through them in the next hour or so. So I think I'm going to start wrapping up at this point. Not trying to be a poop or anything. Just, you know, time is unfortunately a horrible thing where there's never enough of it and it goes by. And I don't like that. There should be, uh, you know, when I perish and if there is a creator and I meet them, I'm going to have some words. Because, first of all, this is a shitty design. And second of all, really needed like 50% more time in the day. Just, it would only be fair. But yeah, no, thanks, Inks. I really appreciate you hanging out. It's so much fun. I love hanging out with you these last few times and tonight, and I really do appreciate you spending burning some night hours with me here. Um, and yeah, I hope to see you around, and I hope you come around to like next time I jump on and stuff. Yeah, like I said, now that I have a pretty decent streaming solution here, I'm gonna try to do it a little bit more regularly. So thank you again, Inks. You have a wonderful night. Get some rest yourself, and yeah, yeah, possibly next Friday night. I'm gonna try to do this on the regular for Fridays for sure. And then I'm also gonna maybe try to get in some Saturdays too. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It was great, man. You have a great night. Take care, and I'll see you around next time.